Meet Eric. He says that black women are too materialistic. He is not attracted to them, and he will not date them.
In 1994, Outkast released Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music, and it was a big deal. It was a really big deal. And one of the things about that era is that when you bought an album, a CD, you expected all of the songs to be good. And of course, on this album, they all were. And there's a track on this one called Ain't No Thing. And I'll let you see the lyrics right here so you can see the lyrics. Ain't no thing but a chicken wang. We having to smoke out in the dungeon with the Mary Jane. It's the pimps, players, McDaddy's, East Point. Now, East Point is a place, it's a section of Atlanta, right? Or you could call it a suburb, but it's really basically the city of Atlanta. And some people refer to it as the Point. So in this particular track, at the very beginning of it, you can hear Andre 3000. He's probably polishing his means of protection. We'll put it that way. And he says two particular lines that are very relevant to this day. He says, "Ninjas in the Point ain't change. Ninjas in the Point ain't change." Then he says, "Yeah." And it's very true. The conversations that we're having today are same conversations that we were having 30 years ago. So in the early 90s, if you came home and you turned on your television, probably around 4 o'clock, there's not a doubt that you would have seen this lady, Ricki Lake, on your television. And she was one of the many talk show hosts of that era. And that opening clip is the beginning of a 3 to 4 minute clip of Ricki Lake having the same conversation that we're hearing today with Passport Bros.
And in the opinion of my guests, beauty is not found within their own race. Meet Eric. He says that black women are too materialistic. He is not attracted to them, and he will not date them.
Now, notice the slanted introduction. Now, that's just the way that 90s television kind of worked. I mean, this is Eric, and he has a preference for dating white women. That's not how it starts. You heard how it starts. And it sounds eerily familiar to something that I've heard recently.
Some guys make it their mission to fly around the world, meet more submissive women, and have sex. They are facing a lot of criticism too. Now that's from those who critique them. My next guest, Austin Holman, said he had to end a trip in Brazil early after he was accused of being one of those guys who said Brazilian women are easy to get. We talked to him today.
Now wait a minute. Before we behead this poor guy, let's hear what he has to say, okay? Why won't you date black women?
The experiences I've had with black women is basically the first thing they want to know is how much money do you have? What kind of car do you drive? What can you do for me? And so forth. My experiences.
Okay, so he has expressed his, I don't know, you can call it preference, I suppose, what he's looking for, right? And remember now, this is 1993. This is precisely 30 years ago. And it's the same conversation with the same talking points, and you're going to hear the first talking point right here.
So your experiences, you couldn't possibly have dated all the black women in this world, could you?
No.
And that's the one, right? You haven't dated enough people, or you can't find just one? That sounds familiar too, doesn't it?
Did you give it a chance? And how old are you now?
23.
How old?
23.
23?
Yeah.
Man, you ain't giving no damn time.
Don't you think you're generalizing just a little?
I'm not generalizing for anyone else except for myself. What I'm saying is that in my experiences, that's what I.
Okay, you say that black women are greedy, selfish, and arrogant.
Okay, so she's trying to pin him down on these kind of trigger words, right? And this is very reminiscent of what we'd have seen in the 1990s in terms of early television talk shows. And she's painting him in a certain light. Again, quite reminiscent.
Now, one of the comments you made in your video, you said it's extremely hard to find. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack when it comes to a good American woman. So are you doing harm yourself when you make comments like that?
I'll let you hear the moans and groans before the lady in the audience starts talking.
Any black woman want to take on that statement? Yes. Stand up, ma'am.
I just think that you haven't dated enough black women, or the ones that you date, you must have poor taste in women, because a good black woman will tell you what to do. She'll be able to handle herself, and you will just be wonderful with her. You'll have a good time.
But the problem is that he hasn't found the right black woman.
I don't know who he's dating, but I just think he's dating the wrong people. You must have a very poor choice of women.
You could be right. You may be right. I mean,
because me and all of my friends here, we are not looking for men with money. We're looking for men with education.
I know, and I didn't say that.
And that's what we want.
Okay, so you notice that in what she said you don't have good taste in women, or it was something where he was making poor decisions. Again, that's reminiscent.
That sounds a lot to me like insecurities and the inability to seek what you want with what you have, where you are.
And you attract.
It's a shame.
What you put out there, too.
It's a shame.
All right.
Like, don't put that on us. Yeah, don't put that on us.
And now we'll listen to his rebuttal.
I didn't say every black woman was looking for someone with money or what they can do for them. That's not what I said. I said the ones that I have encountered with, that's how they approach me.
So because of those women that you've encountered, you refuse to date an entire race of women?
At this point in my life, yes.
Okay, now you also say that white women are passive.
Yes.
Not this white woman.
Okay, so you get a good feel for kind of how Ricky Lake was, right? I mean, she is definitely kind of pushing the conversation in a certain direction with a certain tone. They paint him in a bad light. So far, what he said is he's dated a variety of black women, and he's noticed something that he doesn't like as his preference, and he's choosing to date differently, and you're hearing the castigating tone. You see the Def Jam shirt, you see the afro, fireworks.
Yeah, I want to know if did you have a black mother? And if you did, that should be your role model, man.
She is.
You can't just diss black women. If your mother was a black woman, how you gonna diss black women? You should take my example from your father, man. Your father got with a black woman.
Yeah,
what is your problem, bro?
So you're saying you would never, sir, you would never date outside your race?
Look, I like women. I don't care what color they are. They could be red, all right? I'm just saying that you cannot sit there and diss black women because you had a bad
I'm not dissing black women.
That would literally be a TikTok, right? Literally. Like, we see that TikTok almost every day almost, right? But yeah, you black, your mama black. So how dare you?
Man, you dissing every black woman in here.
I am not dissing any. I look out and I see a lot of beautiful women,
women are materialistic, man. You are dead wrong, all right? You are dead wrong.
You don't know.
Dated some because you probably had a nice car and they saw you for that and you got gassed, or you got some butt and then you couldn't handle it.
I love Jonathan Majors. There was something in me that felt, I bet he has a white girlfriend. And when Antoinette revealed to me that he was in Sweden somewhere with a blonde-haired white woman, I don't celebrate that. I'm not gonna celebrate their children that they have.
Oh my God.
It doesn't make me be like, yes, like, some people together, you're like, I love them together.
That's how we all got here, a white woman and a black man.
Help me through this. I don't have a logical answer. I don't mind seeing black women with white men. It gets even more toxic for me.
Oh, you're toxic. What?
I don't.
Even if you go back 30 years to 1993, you're still hearing the same tropes. You have preferences that are insensitive. You didn't try hard enough in the dating market. You're overreacting to your dating past. It's not the dating market that's the problem. It's you that's the problem. And of course, black men really shouldn't be dating out, but black women are free to do as they like, date who they want. 30 years have passed, same things we're hearing. It's the same conversation that we're having 30 years ago about interracial relationships that we're having about passport bros going overseas to travel. Interesting to see it, but it lines up. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and let me know what you think. Catch you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.